So I've tossed the fishing camera just right offshore, about 10 to 15 yards. That's ghost shrimp on a floaty hook, floaty jig. I'll leave a link in the description about that. It is a soft float hook. As you can see, it's doing the job, and there is a snail to the right there. If that were to be on the ground, that snail would have taken that bait and pushed it down into the sand, and that ladyfish would never have seen it, but it's still not interested in the ghost shrimp at all, which is very unusual. Taking a look and going away. Taking a look and going away. There's a crab to the right, you can see in the frame, and it's not able to steal the bait during the summer months, which this is the summer months. Crabs are everywhere and they will steal your bait, and no one will eat it. There we go. We've got more cigar minnows traveling the surf real close, trying to escape whatever's chasing them. Change the bait to some OP bait soak, which is high concentrated ghost shrimp synthetic scent infused into real shrimp. And look at that thing dancing. The movement of the floaty hook, floaty jig is doing the job. Here comes a ladyfish. Very interested, eats it, and pops it off. 10-pound fluorocarbon. They've got sandpaper teeth, and they will pop you off. Cool shot of a stingray. I believe that is a cow nose ray, although I'm not very good with species of ray, but they're not many to keep up with in the surf. Hey, a feather. How about that? Gone. It's real cool how those things snake across the bottom. There goes the tail, and it's gone. Hey, there we go. Some pompano. Having no problem finding the shrimp and taking some strikes at it. These are smaller pompano. I'm not really seeing keepers. These are probably 8 inches to the fork, maybe smaller. And they're everywhere right now in the surf. Very interested in the bait. Just keep coming back. I think that one's hooked. That little guy's hooked, the side of its mouth, and he's doing his darndest to get off. I'm using a pretty heavy setup back at the shore, so I don't see this at all. And if it was a bigger pompano, then I would see it. So let's see how long it takes him to get free, if he can get free. There goes the bait separating from the hook. That's why you see a lot of surf fishermen running as fast as they can to get to their rods. Pompano are notorious from having the strength to really shake free if you're not fighting them, putting equal pressure and not letting it give, as you can see now. And that fish did get off finally, and doesn't stop the other little guys to try to eat some of the OP bait soak. Just a beautiful fish. The most expensive fish to eat if you buy it at a fish market off the coast of Florida is the pompano. It's a prized possession in the fish market and really a tasty fish. Another good shot. Bigger pompano, that is actually OP bait soak with green fish gum. Had to rebait and cast back out there. Still interested in this bait. More interest than the real ghost shrimp, although I don't think there were any pompano in the area at the first cast when we were using ghost shrimp. Green bead, that's a green get 'em bead, and I do put green beads at the joints of my surf fishing rigs, because if I'm using a naked rig, then as you can see, the bait is on the bottom. Could be taken down by a snail right now. I don't know. They're not messing with it, so possibly I don't have any bait out. And we've got a giant piece of cut bait. That is a whiting head, and it is pretty big. And what you'll see is that the fish that normally would eat smaller baits, if it's cut bait, will leave this alone. It's really cool to see fish sizing up the bait, and they won't waste their time coming near it or attempting to eat it. So what's true is a bigger bait will only be eaten by a bigger fish. And here comes a snail left of the frame. Good shot. I guess that his eyes are on top there, and it can see pretty good. It can scent pretty good. And it's not stopping it from at least trying to get a snack. And again, these things are notorious for stealing your bait. Sand flea, fish gum, shrimp, whatever you're using that's big enough for them to take down to the sand. Not too many surf fishermen really understand how evasive these snails are to taking your bait away and taking it down. Again, here's a school of ladyfish, and this is definitely characteristic of summertime fishing. Got some in the background, look like shadows going through, and they will not even attempt to eat something that big. Just pass it by. Tracks them, but passes it by. See the shadows in the background still, and you can see the cut bait just tumbling on the bottom of the seabed. No activity whatsoever. More ladyfish to the left. 2. Again, there's some shadows in the background, more coming through. Won't even waste their time on something they can't attempt to swallow. And they're not pickers. Now, if there were pinfish in the surf, they would be picking that bait apart, because that's just what they do. They eat whatever they can find to survive. Another, number 2, snail. I really don't understand how well they can see or sense the scent. It's really, really amazing. Check your bait every 15 minutes during the summertime, or you could be losing it to a snail. Oh, we've got the glass minnows you can see in the surf. There's so many of those out there that's really hard to get fish to eat. I mentioned that before. Now you can see them swimming through the frame. Very small, very easy to eat. More glass minnows coming through. Also could be baby ladyfish. It's one of the two, but they're shiny, clear, and a quick snack for most of the fish. I did switch back to ghost shrimp is on there, using the magic thread. If you've never used ghost shrimp before, you've got to use bait thread to keep it on the hook, or you will toss it off in the surf and you won't be fishing with anything. Oh, there we go. Redfish coming in, left side of the bait. That is a keeper red, definitely in slot. Probably don't have bait. It's been taken down by a snail, or these nice redfish would have eaten that. There we go. Nice shot of a whiting. Thank you so much for watching, and join me next time right here. We Excite to Strike. God bless.